How about that for an intro, huh? I realized I hadn't clicked the go live button, and it just kind of fits in line with everything that today's been like. So, hey, I want to tell y'all thank you. Those of y'all that are here. It's an hour late, and first and very, very foremost, my sincere apologies to Powerline and everybody that tuned in to see Powerline. I got stuck at work today. That's the fact of the matter. And I called and offered to either delay or reschedule or cancel altogether, leave it up to their prerogative. Powerline set aside time tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern that I wasn't able to honor. And those of y'all that watch the show know that that's not normal for me. Their time is valuable, and they don't know me. They don't know, that's just how that's the fact of the matter. They don't owe me anything. So we weren't able to make 9 o'clock work. It didn't work for them. They're as busy as the rest of us. And hopefully we can reschedule in the future, or, hopefully those bridges aren't burned, but it's completely on me today. I just overextended myself. It's Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras. And one of the clients that I consult for threw a Mardi Gras party, and I don't want to get into the details of it. It was a not fulfilling day. I'll just leave it at that. And here I am. So I'm glad to be here tonight, but I do not have a guest. I don't have much of a show agenda. So we're going to see how this goes, and we'll see what's going on in the chat. So I want to tell y'all thank you for being here. While I get myself together, let me say hey to some people. Brandon Nixon, good to see you, man. Dave BPL, what's been happening, man? I hope that you're well. I hope you're well out there. And I can never remember if it's Nevada or Nevada. I know you straightened me out on that before. Jordan, good to see you. Eric, Roxanne, I think you might be a new guest. I saw that you had done business with Powerline in the past. As I said, I think everybody should go check them out. They were really, really good to me. It was on me that I missed them. Elite Exotics, John, he says, stuff happens. Let's hang out. Stuff does happen. I mean, I think that's really going to be kind of the topic tonight. And life is sort of about how you deal with that. And like I say, I'll apologize in advance. I'm exhausted. I worked a long day. I don't even want to talk about the day. I'm not worried about the day. So we'll get through it. Bold Coast Exotics, good to see you, man. I hope all's well up there in Maine. 403 Fauna. Mark, how are you, man? Mark, I got to tell you, I almost sent you an Instagram message like 18 minutes ago and was like, want to do the show? And I didn't. I was like, I can't put Mark. That's not fair to put Mark in that position. So I did do that to Jeremy Warfels about an hour ago, but he's got a newborn baby. What's the guy to do? So I said, you know what? Let's just have a solo show. And like I say, if you guys want to talk about things, let me know. In the meantime, I'll let you know what I've got going on, snake related, and actually personal life too, for fun. I know that there's some Southwest Florida breeders that catch the show sometimes. I'd love to meet you. I'll be in Punta Gorda, Florida on Sunday, 2 o'clock. Sunday, the 26th, I'll be that's this Sunday, 2 p.m. I'll be at the Celtic Array performing myself, and I'll be on acoustic guitar and singing, and a fiddle player. I'll be at the Celtic Array Irish Pub, a great killer pub, I promise you. Then snake related, March 4th. And 4th and 5th, Friday and Saturday following this coming up, I'll be in Lakeland at the Fire Expo. I believe that's Florida International Reptile Expo. So maybe that's like calling an ATM machine when really you should just call it ATM or Fire. The E is the Expo. I'll be there both days. Vending. Just look for that banner back there. Watch this little trick. Boom. Yeah, just look for that banner back there. All right, back to my face now. There we go. I'll be there vending. That's a Repticon show. And then the following weekend, I'll be vending in Jacksonville. And my trusty sidekick, Charlie, my son and my boy, he's going to be vending with me. One of the things when speaking of stuff happening, you know what, I'll get to that in a minute, but that's a cool interlude. We're going to circle back to why Charlie's vending with me. And then we'll be vending in Jacksonville after that. I was on, if you didn't get a chance to catch it, I was on John's show. Inquiline is the brand. I was on his show last night and I had a blast, man. It was a good time. It's so fun as a podcast host that should have their act together like John did last night, like I did not today. And the pressure's on you when it's your host and your brand. When you're the guest, man, it's fantastic. It was just a good old, you know, it was just hanging out with an old friend. You guys know I rarely will go more than, you know, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Man, I hung out with John for 3 hours last night. So go check it out if you get a chance. John, put your brand up there. There you see it. Inquiline. That's on YouTube. So check that out. Scales and Tails breeding. Was that me that sent you a price or somebody else? If it was me, you're welcome. If it wasn't me, I did post a list of animals for sale on my Instagram, and then you can just message me and I'll give you the prices. A couple of them have actually sold. I'm going to make an exception to my usual rule tonight, just so you guys know. So that actually has been going pretty well this week too, as a strategy for sales. I could get into that a little bit later too. There we go. Stuff happens in Charlie. So the history of Charlie vending with me, those of y'all that don't know, my son is 10 years old. And also on Instagram, I don't know. I don't really think people go back and like search for videos on Instagram, but maybe they do if you want to. We ultrasounded, he and I together. He ran the ultrasound like freeze and measurements, and I was running the the actual snake ultrasound. So that's on Instagram if you want to go check that out. We did that on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday, 2 days ago. So I vended the Jacksonville Show Me Snakes show. Show Me Snakes did a great job of getting people in the door. They packed that door. They moved the show from our downtown kind of agricultural fairgrounds, which is like where the Orlando Repticon's at, the Tampa Repticon is at. Those are kind of seem to be far away from residential areas, and they're not these like nice shiny buildings. You know, they're a little, they're fine, but they're warehousey, I guess is maybe the way to put it. Show Me Snakes moved the Jacksonville show to smack dab in the middle of suburbia. And of all places, it was actually at a Greek Orthodox church in their banquet wedding facility ballroom. Beautiful facility, fantastic. So what ends up happening, this is back in January, I've picked this apart in my brain. This is all how I envision it happening. I can't swear that this is what happened. This is my experience. I've ended that show. And there were so many people in there. I joked with somebody, I could have crowd surfed across that crowd. It was packed. The problem was it was 6 to 10-year-old kids, 4 or 5 of them to an adult. And it was like Suburbia said, man, we got nothing to do. Kids under 12 are free. It's $10 for me. Let's just go, you know, hell, the thing's called Show Me Snakes. Let's go see some snakes, you know, or Show Me Reptiles, it's called. And so what ended up happening was I busted my tail all day. And again, don't get me wrong, I want to grow the hobby and grow the industry, make these people interested, turn them into enthusiasts, turn them into hobbyists, turn them into business and industry people. But we can't do it all at once, and it certainly can't just be on the Jacksonville, Florida breeders' responsibility. So what I found was that working that booth by myself, engaging all the kids, engaging the moms and grandmothers, meant that I couldn't engage the breeders, the buyers, the collectors, the people that nobody I was engaged with was going to drop $800 on a snake. I'm fortunate. And I'm not bragging. I'm just using it as an example. Today on Morph Market, I sold an $800 snake before noon. What makes more sense, right? So I want to keep vending. I'm going to keep vending. I find it very valuable. Those are 2 isolated incidents that I'm comparing to each other. No big deal. But what occurred to me was I need a sidekick that can handle the kids. And who better to handle the kids than my kid that can handle snakes? And so we're going to bring a pretty big, calm, docile male that's not even breeding this year. We're going to bring him. He's an Orange Dream het pied. His name is Johnny. We've had him. He's been sort of our pet forever. We're going to bring Johnny, and Charlie is going to work with Johnny on that end of the table. And I am going to work with the people that are 18 and older. So that's the stuff happens in the Jacksonville show, and then how you work to get around it. And that's what we did. That's what I came up with Charlie. And I'm going to pay him. He's happy. He's going to get some cash in his pocket, and he's pretty excited for that. I talked a lot on John's show last night. I want my son to understand the value of working for money. And I also believe that if you do truly work for your money, it's not my business to tell you what to do with it. Now, he's 10. I'm going to give him a little guidance. He can't just, you can't make horrible decisions with money all the time. I mean, I get to be a dad for a reason. But, hey, if he wants to buy Pokemon cards, go buy Pokemon cards. You want to buy something that's going to be junk and disappear, and now the money you had is gone and you got to go work hard for it again? That's a lesson he needs to learn. So I'm excited for that. And that's what Charlie will be doing. Let me see here. I was looking. Yeah, tradesman Tito is here in Jacksonville. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to where the next show is going to be, man. Repticon. So that was a Show Me Snake show. Repticon is, and those of y'all that are just listening, not looking in the comments, Tito says, I thought they were going to move it again. They might. If I were the show promoter, I'd have been thrilled. They had a line out the door. They couldn't get everybody in. I mean, it was a smashing success for the door. So I don't know. I mean, that kind of puts the promoter at odds with the breeders, which is bad. I mean, we got to be united on that. I'm sure they see that, but I don't know. I'm not sure what they're going to do. So the Repticon show on the 11th that I'm vending at, that's back down at the fairgrounds. That's downtown. Now somebody, a mom or a dad could still go, hey, let's take 5 kids from the neighborhood down to the show. The fact is, you're going to drive 30 to 40 minutes. All those people that were at the Show Me Snake show, it's a 45-minute drive to where the fairgrounds here in Jacksonville are. So I don't know. I think this is going to weed out some of those and allow for a little higher engagement. But I'll see. I don't know. Jacksonville's a weird town. It's always been a weird town for concerts. It's a weird town for events. I don't really know. So stuff happens. You can't change what's happened. I'm talking just in general now. You guys know this stuff. But one of my skills and one of the things I've figured out, and I think, to be honest with you, I think Tito at Tradesman Exotics does a really good job from what I know of him. I don't know him real well, but I know him pretty well. Troubles happen. Things come up. Stuff happens. You just gotta you gotta get over the emotion part of it. Be mad, whatever. Like, have your beverage tonight. That's fine. I'll do that. But then it's, hey, what do I need to change, or what do I need to change with the people I'm working with or involved with that cause these hiccups and these headaches? And along with that mindset, I love trying new things. So one of the things I've been trying that's actually really, really worked really well, and so much of business isn't proprietary. Like, people are like, why would you share your secrets? I'm like, because I do them well. You want my secrets? Take them. It's your job to implement it. Just because I say it doesn't mean you can go do it. You can if you want. Doesn't mean you will. So one of the things I tried a while back that I started, and I still do, is a monthly email list. And by the way, if you email me at properroyals@gmail.com, just say, hey, put me on the list. Boom, you'll be on the next inventory list. And I send those inventory lists out before the animals go on the morph market. But after I send those lists out, there's about 200 people on that list. Then what I've been doing is just taking a screenshot of the spreadsheet. I hide the prices because Instagram will really mess you up for that. And then I just post the spreadsheet picture on Instagram. And I think it's kind of funny that, like, maybe we're all so numb to seeing these crazy, incredible snakes every day on, like, you know, Reptile Instagram, that when a spreadsheet pops up, like, we really look at it. Because I get a lot of leads. I've converted. I think I've only done it 2 months now. I did it in January and February, but I mean, I think I'm at 2,500, $3,000 for those 2 months. And I'll tell you, I'll put some reference on there. I don't really sell 2 and 3 grand snakes. I don't have that caliber animals yet. I'm not producing those yet. So year to date, my average sale price per snake has been $360, which is really, really good. Because over the whole year in the past, I've never broken 300. So that's really cool. That doesn't include when I'm going to have to wholesale, you know, misses, male hets. You know, what am I going to do with those? I'll just wholesale them. So that'll bring it down. But it's starting really well. But those Instagram buyers, you know what? I could tell you, I won't tell you who and what the snakes were, but there was a 7. It's kind of funny. It was shipping and everything. It came to $777, but a $700 snake, 2 $625 snakes, and then a 500 and a 625. So I mean, there's been about 4 snakes that are equaling 24 to 2,500 just from that strategy in the past 2 months. And you know, to some people, 2,500 is nothing, but to me, it's 2 mortgage payments. How about that? Like, that's the roof over my head for 2 months. I'll take that. Cheers, you know. So that's a sales strategy that's been working for me. If you want to try it or whatever, or if you want to go look at my list, you can go do that too. Maybe we'll add to that number, you know. Let me see. I'm trying to keep up with the comments while I'm rambling on here. Going back, you know, Brandon brought up a good point, and I agree. I don't know the promoters well enough. And don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking Show Me Reptiles. I think they work hard. They're pre-prep. How well they took care of the breeders is great. They bought all the breeders lunch. They bought every one of us a pizza from Domino's, and not like a little personal deal. Like, I don't know, it was a smaller or medium. I couldn't finish the thing. So, I mean, they were absolutely gracious, very, very good promoters to work with. Brandon says the breeders got to do good for the show to do good. If people aren't doing decent at a show, they're not going to want to go. And then again, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if I'm going to sign up for another Show Me Snake show. I've got to decide if that was just a fluke. Maybe I was the new guy stuck in the corner. I don't know. But I am going to do shows in Jacksonville because I feel like it's a market that's my market, and I should be front and center in that market, and really in a ethical way. And my goal should be to be the biggest in this market, or the most known, or have the most pull, or however you want to define it. I should be a player in this market, and a significant one, because it's my home market. I'm here. This is where I'm doing my work. So I will be going to every Jacksonville show that I can. I might be tempering my expectations, and I will certainly, if this proves to be the model for Show Me Snakes, I'll whittle down what I bring and take. I'll just do it to make contacts and to meet people and to, you know, do petting zoo day. I could do that. I just need to have that right expectation. But I wouldn't do it outside of here. And I don't know if that's true at other Show Me Snakes shows. I know that Shane Smallwood at Small Town Exotics, he vends at the Knoxville Show Me Reptile show, and he loves it. He thinks very highly of it. So it's probably just Jacksonville in that one singular location and singular experience. But I had to pick it apart, and then, like I say, I came up with Charlie Vending as that solution. Let's see here in the comments. Yeah, Beast Morphs. Yeah, you know what? We could dive in a little bit on that. I don't have my other computer has my historical P&Ls. Yeah, 300. Like I say, I think of it. I wish I had it. I'm not going to wander off and go grab it. I think I'm at 370 a snake through the year, and I'm on a pace of 2 a week right now. So we're 7 weeks into the year. I've sold 14 snakes this year. You guys can extrapolate the math from there if you really want to. I don't really care. But yeah, they've averaged, I think it's 370. And that's significant. I mean, 370, if I sold 100, that'd be 37,000 a year in gross revenue. If I sold 200 snakes in a year, that would put me in the mid 70s gross revenue, and that's before YouTube, that's before sponsorships, that's before any Patreon plans, any of that kind of stuff. Which is actually pretty good income. I mean, that would be close to quit my job level. So the question is, how do I ramp up that average and ramp up the scale at the same time? So I don't think I'll sell 200. I know I will not sell 200 snakes this year. I won't sell 200 snakes this year. At the pace I'm on, 2 a week, which feels like it's going to be hard to keep up. But then again, I've kept it up for 7 weeks and I have shows coming up. I didn't do any shows in February. I keep looking this way. My calendar is up that way. But if I sold 2 a week, that'd be a little over 100. And then at the pace I'm at, that'd be a little over 37,000. My goal this year, everything, any YouTube revenue, I get very little sponsorship revenue, but I get a huge value. I get discounts and that kind of thing. So there's value there. But my goal is a raw revenue number. So not counting discounts, but actual raw goal revenue number is 45,000 is my goal this year. So I'm going to need to up that a little bit, or I'm going to need to, improve my diversified revenues from YouTube. I'm not monetized during a bonus program on Instagram. Not yet. I'm about to cross 4,000 subscribers though. Boom. That'll be double the number of subscribers in the last 7 weeks. I ended 2022 with right at 2,000 subscribers. I'm coming up on 4,000, which is killing it. I'm really happy. Thank you all for that support. So how will I bridge that gap if I'm going to sell 100 snakes at an average of 370? And I think, I'm going to have some bangers that I produce that I could sell for more than that. And I'm going to have some that I wholesale that I'll sell for less than that. So let's just say it stays at 370. How am I going to bridge that gap to 45,000 of my goal? I am cooking really, really hard on some Patreon plans. One will be a very high tier one. It'll be kind of time and labor intensive. So that's going to be pretty expensive. But if you want to work like directly with me and legitimately work with me, it'll be worth your time. The other is going to be a very inexpensive plan. And I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but I'm looking around off camera. I've purchased some equipment that's going to allow for a really interactive Patreon experience that I don't think anybody else is doing. And I actually have a IT meeting with kind of a tech contact, not kind of a great tech contact on Thursday. If that test run works and all the concepts prove and I can go live, I might do the high end tier of Patreon anyhow, but the low end tier, and when I say low end, the very little expense and tier, that's the one I'm excited about. The high end one, I'm going to cap at 5, so I really can't scale that up. The lower tier, I could scale. I could scale to hundreds or I mean, I don't know any ball python people that have 1,000 patrons on Patreon, but we could, you know what I mean? Like maybe it's as cheap as $2 or $3 a month, and I get, half my YouTube subscribers. Nah, this is craziness. So it won't be $2 or $3 a month. I'm thinking 5, 7, 10, somewhere in there. I've got to figure out the total value proposition that I'm going to make, and but that's on its way. So that's how I'm planning to bridge the gap up to 45,000, and that's kind of a year-to-date review of what I've got going on. There was just 40 of y'all watching, so there's some new folks that tuned in. Powerline is not here, not because of their fault, because of mine. I was delayed a little, right at an hour tonight from an extremely hectic work day. And I did call, I spoke to Phillip from work, and I was in the kitchen and at the client's place. And I was just like, look, it's not going to happen at 8. And he's like, we set aside this time. We have other things, and I said, I completely understand. You absolutely don't owe me. So we put a pause on it tonight, but I still wanted the show to go. And frankly, I kind of needed the show to blow off some steam from the rough day. So if you guys have topics that you want to cover, feel free. I'm a pretty open book, and I'm pretty comfortable saying no thanks if I don't want to discuss something. So let me know. Let me see. I'm catching up on the comments right now. Brandon says, I feel like I get a lot of conversation on Instagram, but not much converting to sales. I agree with you. I feel that way about Morph Market. I think, Brandon, I know that you're dealing at some higher level inventory, and by that I mean snakes, than I am. So you probably get a little bit more focused buyers than I do on Morph Market. I tell you, on Instagram, though, I mean, yeah, I get some that aren't, and I get some that need help. I actually have a video call set up with somebody on Thursday that we're going to go through their heat and humidity. And look, I know people go, I don't want to deal with that stuff. Hey, you know what? I got a sale from it, and hopefully I'll have a raving fan from it that will share the good news about me or Proper Royals, but yeah, I get it. It seems all around, and it seems at all levels. So, yeah, Beast Morphs. Yeah, your math. I'm counting it at 300. Beast Morphs, those of y'all listening only, says in general 200 animals at 300 each is 60 grand. Yeah, I was counting the 370, so 37,000 on 100. 74,000 on 200. And both of those numbers are monstrous. If you had told me less than 3 years ago, Adam, you'd be debating how you're going to bridge a gap up to 45,000, and then how you're going to be looking towards 70,000 in the next year is crazy. I would take it. I'm ecstatic for that. Marshall, hey, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Marshall, NoCo Reptiles says, different shows appeal to different buyers. I don't expect to get the same caliber of buyer at a show me show as NARBC Tinley. Yeah, you're exactly right. That's completely fair. I'm getting my feet on. That was my first show. I've vended only one other one since then. I'm looking at my calendar. It feels like more. I've ended with some other people, but not my own stuff. So I'll get, you all have heard me talk about getting the reps in, and building that muscle memory and experience. And it's an oversimplification. I think that guy Alex Hormuzzi is who I stole this line from. But basically, doing stuff plus time equals skill. Like, do the stuff that you do over and over and over for a long time, and you're going to gain skills. And so I'm in the do the stuff for a long period of time phase right now. Bold Coast Exotic says, would you guys say most of your sales are at shows or online? It's funny you asked that. I just cut out I just edited an interview I did, not live. We filmed it, but on that topic for to make a reel out of on Instagram. For myself, right now, online shows versus online, I've only done 2 shows. So right now it's primarily online, but let me break that down further. Morph Market is about 40% of my sales. And then Instagram and YouTube are about 30 and 30. And then of course they overlap. Somebody will see something on YouTube and then go check out Morph Market, or on Instagram. I mean, there's pet owners that are overwhelmed by Morph Market that are like, I always love the example of like the first time we told our grandparents, yeah, you enter your credit card information in the computer. And they're like, what? I would never do that. I come across a lot of buyers on Instagram that are like, what, a morph market? You just send people random money? And I'm like, well, no, there's protective levels. And they're like, yeah, I don't know this person. I'm not sending them money. I'm like, well, then you can buy from me if you feel like you know me, but it's the same thing. So, you know, you see it all around. But yeah, morph market is about 40%, and then 30 and 30 Instagram and YouTube for me. I came up with a new expression last night on John's show. I'm TikTok curious. So like I dabble in it. I don't really apply myself to TikTok. So I've gotten a couple inquiries on TikTok that felt serious, but I've never converted any. Yeah, Marshall says online sales is better for me, but some of that is the years I've been vending and the reputation built. No better way to show who you are than at a show. Yeah, the other thing is kind of the residual. You always hear the spiral or the snowball effect. So right now my Instagram is experiencing that. I've done the good work. I continue to do the good work. The algorithm's happy. Boom. I double my followers in 7 weeks after I've been at it for over a year. Right. I think shows are a little bit like that. Even just at the 2, I've had a few residual phone calls of, hey, it was great to meet you. I hope I get to buy from you in the future. I had a guy reach out to me. Turns out he was hammered on Super Bowl Sunday, but you know, in his mind, he was ready to buy snakes. I mean, we were wheeling and dealing during the Super Bowl. He texted me the next morning. He's like, I'm really sorry. I drank a lot, man. I can't do it. But in his honest alcoholic, induced encouragement to buy snakes, I was the one that he reached out to. So that meant I made a connection. So you do that enough times, some things are gonna hook. And then you do that again across live shows, traditional YouTube videos, Instagram pictures, Instagram reels, and then vending shows. I mean, things got to take, and they are taking, they are working. That's been me just doing a whole bunch. Leviathan Snakes, Stephen and Courtney, how are you all tonight? It's good to see you. When I knew that I wouldn't be able to have Powerline on, I started going like through this like panic mode, like who can I call? Who can I call? And I was like, you know what? I talked to Jeremy Warfels really briefly, and I was like, you know what? I'll just do a solo show. I'm kind of beat anyway. Plus, I'm not great at engaging the audience. Like usually I do the show and I stay super engaged on the guest. One of the things I need to work at is engaging the audience. Most podcasters are way, way better at that than I am. So that's sort of my secret mission tonight, is get a little exercise on that as well. Yeah, Brandon, my goal this year is to make 10,000 gross for my first year. I hope that you do. My very first year was 40, 44, 47. It was under 5,000. My second year, I tripled that. I exceeded tripling. I got to 15,000. That was last year. And I've set a goal for myself to triple that again this year to get up to 45,000. If you're just joining, go back and watch the beginning. I'll talk about how I think I can get there and how I can bridge the gap of where I'm missing. Yeah, beast morphs each year better than the last. Any business wants that. And what's amazing in ball pythons, and Robin Markland brought this up, a good year for a ball python breeder, they're doing 30, 40, 50% more better than they did the year before. And he's hearing that this year people are thinking they might only do 15 or 20% better than they did the year before. And we both had a chuckle on it, on that interview. There's a video on my YouTube. If you go search my videos with Robin Markland from REDLINE Shipping, boom, great sponsor of the show. I'm thankful for them. We chuckled and we're like, if somebody said, hey, long-term in the stock market in a bad year, if you could be still guaranteed, still feel confident you do 15 or 20% increase, like stop everything, put my life savings in. I just would sit back and and let that compound. And I would find ways to just cover my bills and not, live extravagantly for a couple of years. And then I'd be off to the races. Like, you would be done. That's all you would have to do from the compound interest. So looking at it in that light, in tough years, there's just great opportunity. It seems like people get out if they're only forecasting that they can improve 10 or 15%. I think it's short-sighted. I think there's great opportunity with that mindset in this industry for those of us that do stick around. Brandon's got the Gettysburg show. I hear a lot about that show. I'd like to check that show out sometime. I got to say, that would be cool to do. What else is out there? Yeah, Straight Blast says I was only at around 180 average my first year. I would have to go look. I do not recall what my very, very first year was. Last year got brought down a little bit because I had a lot of relatively a lot of clutches to my first year, but I had a fair amount that I just wholesaled. I just said, take it, let's go. So that brought it down. Yeah, 300 average is my goal by the end of next year. Okay, all right. I think you could get there. I think you're, if you're moving along, I think it can work. Yeah, there's all kinds of ways to get there. If you sell $365, $273 snakes, that's $100,000. I could tell you to produce 365 snakes, you have a lot of overhead in space, equipment, and rats. So trying to level up, this is a great topic because Stephen and Courtney talk a lot about this, and I believe it as well. You got to level up as your reputation levels up. Like, ideally, you're raising them together. You can't. I wouldn't say you can't. It's harder to jump in and suddenly be producing $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 snakes and having no reputation. But if 2-3 years you're building, or maybe 3-4 years, you're building a reputation to be able to sell $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 snakes, and you've been established and recognized. You have that brand. That confidence in your brand. I think Stephen defined it one time is the value of your brand is how much more somebody's willing to pay for your product than an identical unknown brand product. And I think it's important to build up. So I would love for the day that I'm selling 365 snakes. I'm totally down with that. However, that overhead involved and the infrastructure investment, capital improvement investment, I would want my average. I would want my average to be higher. And Brandon and I have joked, people always dream, especially when we're at similar. Brandon's probably ahead of me, but when you're at, I'll say generally similar levels, I think he probably does a little better than me than I do on snakes. But yeah, we've both joked like, yeah. Get me to 100K gross. That's all I'm gonna do. Straight chilling. I'll do $100,000 gross in snakes, and I'll play live music in Irish pubs once, twice a week, and that's it, man. And that would be a beautiful life for me. I would love that. What else is going on? Jason joined my first Patreon to support one of my favorite breeders that recently started one. Most of my favorite people in the hobby don't have one. I'll put that up there. Yeah, I'm going to start one. I firmly believe in the best way to learn, with some caveats. I don't think the best way to learn about snakes and breeding is to buy 50 of them. That's not the best way to learn. There's a huge downside to that. Patreon, there's really no downside. If I start it and it fails, I just shut it off. It's gone. Wait, what, am I so pompous that I think people are going to keep records of my failures? Trust me, if that were the case, there wouldn't be 44 of you watching me solo tonight. Like, time goes on. People move on. So what? If it fails, it fails. Shut it down. Give it up. So I see tremendous upside in trying out the Patreon. I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't think that it's if it was easy, everybody would do it and make a ton of money at it. Not many people make a ton of money at it. And I think the Patreons come and go. So, but I want to learn. And I think I'm finally ready that I have something to provide. So we'll see about that. It's coming soon. let's see. Nixon Reptile says that's a lot of work. I think, are you talking about hets? Hets are a lot of work. Patreon's a lot of work. 365 snakes, a lot of work. I'm sorry. Anyone in Vegas here? I don't know if anybody's in Vegas. I know that BPL Dave was in Ball Python Love. He was in earlier. He's in Reno, I believe. Beast Morphs, the more clutches and the higher value your collection grows. After that, it's just finding your sweet spot and upgrading genetics. Yeah, I would add to it. And I know Beast Morphs, you and I disagree on this topic a little bit. For me, I think constantly upgrading your brand and your reach, for me, has always had value. And I find it fulfilling. For me, I find that a translatable skill. I've been able to apply that in my consulting experience, in my consulting business, where I've literally sat across the table from an owner and said, look, man, if I can get, flirting with close to 10,000 followers across platforms, and I'm moving ball pythons on the internet, do you know how many hospitality people there are? How many hospitality industry people there are? How many brides there are? Bridesmaids? All these people we could build communities out of that would have much farther reach than ball pythons. And most of them don't buy into it. Most of them go, yeah, I don't think we're an Instagram club. You're going to be, you will be. It might not be Instagram. Maybe it'll be another platform that comes along one day. You will be. You're not going to be, driving members on billboards in the future. But hey, you're not ready for it yet. That's up to you. So I do use that. I like the challenge of growing my brand on that. What else is on there? Jeremy says, I'm just here listening, getting the kids ready for bed. So much snake work to get done, plus YouTube work. Yeah, I'm with you, man. The past 2 days being so busy out of the house has really kicked my butt. I got a lot of work behind me to do. Those of y'all that don't know, two things. Jeremy, that's Warfel. Jeremy Warfel has a great channel. Go check out his podcast, his channel. He also had a newborn son arrive into the world on February 17th, which anybody that was following me on Facebook might connect the dots that's my birthday as well. So I'll always remember your son's birthday. I think that's super cool, Jeremy. Fantastic. So Charlie at Reagan Renee Royal Python says, Adam, so at 2 a week, can you help me denounce the market is failing people, please? No, I'm not going to denounce them. Market's failing. Get out. Pack it up. Sell your collection. Sell it cheap. Wrap it up because you hit a little bump in the road. And I'll quietly or less quietly, I'll sit back and go, not sit back. I'll go bust my tail and I'll clean up the scraps that you leave behind. Now, I'm not going to denounce that. If that's their experience, that's their experience. But it's, of course, it's nuanced. We all want this binary thing. Is it failing or is it huge? Well, of course, it's somewhere in the middle. I know I've worked hard. I don't know if I've worked efficiently. I might have worked foolishly. I've worked harder at building my brand. I work harder at trying different ways to sell things. If I only looked at morph market, I would say the market is failing. The other ways that I've figured out how to sell, I'm getting by, and I'm on pace. I'm on pace for absolutely my best year ever. I have already exceeded in the first 7 weeks what I did in my first year of sales, the whole year, and that was only 2 years ago. So but no, I get your point, Charlie. I don't think the market's failing. I don't think most markets fail or succeed. I think they are easy or difficult, and those things are cyclical. And in any market, the people that haven't prepared themselves to handle the difficult times don't last. That's 80% of the story. There's 10% on either end that have more money than God, and no market influences are going to affect their livelihood. And there's people on the other end who the market truly ambushed in a very, very, very difficult way. We didn't experience that in ball pythons during COVID, but a lot of people did in their lives and their livelihood. So I have to say there's like an 80% window and then some really legitimate extremes on the end. No, it's a challenging time, and we evolve, we grow, and we figure out how to overcome those challenges. Or we go, it's not worth my time, and walk away. I've obviously not chosen that. So your point's well taken, though. What we got here? Topic for you, Adam. Here you go. What do you think makes a good collab, both for the breeding and for social media? Who would you like to collaborate with that you haven't yet? Yeah, that's really two questions. Let's take the breeder one. I get a lot, and even one today, which is great. Like, it's really actually flattering. I have people approach me that want to breed their animals with mine, and I'm the first to say I don't think I have them. Like Steven, Brandon, Kai, you guys all have way better animals than I do. Mark, 403 Fauna, he bought one of mine. Charlie, he's got way better animals than I do from a breeding standpoint. So I find it really kind of flattering, and it catches me off guard when people offer to have a breeding collaboration with me. I'll tell you, it takes this also goes for buying collections. I think there's a perception that I just willy-nilly buy collections. I would have to know the person, and I'd have to see and know their facility to want to breed with them. And then here's the really, really hard part. So for example, I'm doing a breeding partnership with Shannon Peck this year. Green Dragon Brokers, great guy. We've gotten to know each other very well over the past 2 years. He lives down in Orlando. Our paths have crossed in a couple places and that sort of thing. We were kind of like, well, how are we going to divvy these up? What do we each expect from each other? And I know this sounds crazy, and there's got to be a better way than this. But we really just left it and said, look, man, I trust you. He said, hey, I trust you. We don't know if we're going to crush the odds or if we're going to miss everything. We trust each other that we're going to make it fair at the end. And Shannon will watch this. I'm wide open. Even I would consider Shannon a very good friend, incredibly trustworthy. There's no reason not to trust the guy. I'm not letting go of my animals. I was like, I'll take one of yours and bring them up, but I'm just not comfortable with letting go of mine. And turns out he was cool with that, but I could have understood if he was like, no thanks. Jeremy Bod, he studded out one of his males to me this year. Same kind of thing. It was left with like, he was like, well, I wasn't doing anything with the guy. I'll help you out. You can just use him. But if you hit this, hook me up with one of those. Okay. Every situation is unique. Who would I like to collaborate with on breeding? I don't know how to put it. Not a whole lot of people, and I don't mean to, like, this is going to sound mean. Like I would do a breeding partnership with like Brandon or Charlie at Reagan Renee. But I don't think they have a need for my animals, and I still don't know that I'm ready to send one of mine off. Like, it's a little weird. Rationality breaks down. I know that's irrational to say, but that's the fact of the matter. I don't know. Maybe we'll do more in the future. I would love, oh my gosh, guys, there is a breeder here in town. They live in a part of town called Orange Park, which is across the river, and Jacksonville's a monstrous place. So there's all these different like little townships in Jacksonville greater area. Check out Expressive Exotics. I cannot believe the caliber of stuff that Alex is her name. It's a she. Her name is Alex. The caliber of stuff that Alex is breeding right 12 miles from my house. I don't know where she lives, but Orange Park ain't but 12 miles from my house. She keeps a tight wrap on her collection, on where it's at. I get it. She doesn't want to risk, somebody betraying her or bringing biological stuff in. I've offered to come film there. She's great. She's very gracious about it. Has always helped me if I have any questions. Never shunned me. Doesn't want to do the show. Doesn't want me there filming. I'm not going to be there to check out her facility. Nope. online only, keep the personal distance. So I get all of that. It's hard to say. For social media collaborating with, I mean, literally I collaborate with people every week from a live show standpoint, right? So I do have a wish list, although I'm looking at my calendar. I have a really, really cool stretch coming up. KMB is next week and on Tuesday night. Then Abe's Exotics, you know, I don't know if he's a legend status, but he's definitely old school status, right? Jeremy Bod's the week after that. I'm excited to work with him again. And then I had this great interaction Instagram spreadsheet list. Guy named Spencer gets in touch with me. It turns out Spencer is Spencer from a page called A Tree Frog Collective. And he's a full-time tree frog breeder, supplier, reptile, like I'm sure he's going to really resent me saying this, but a smaller scale Josh's Frogs, but he's doing it. And I don't think there's anything. Josh's Frogs is going to do 12 to 18 million dollars in gross revenue this year. Let me be 1/10 of that. Hello. I'll take it, man. So anyhow, Spencer was great. He did buy an animal from me that was fantastic earlier this week. That was a sale up. Maybe on Instagram, I'm up around 3 or over 3. I don't know, I have to look. But anyway, so he'll be on the show. So there's a new kind of collaboration with business minds. But, you know, of course, I'd love to have Billy on. I would love to have any of the big guys on. I will say, I don't know what new I would have to ask them. I like asking people who are just ahead of me. I'm here, you're there. How do I get from here to there? What have you done recently? I'm not going to be Billy overnight. I'm not going to be Billy in 10 years. So I don't have as much to talk to Billy about. As far as like just fanboy, would I love to have Billy on the show? Hell yes, I would. I hope he comes on the show. I've asked him. So we'll see. But those, I don't know. I always have kind of a running list of people that I want to get booked. I only book about a month out at a time, so that if I have this like moment of excitement, I'm like, I want to work with them. I either get a yes or a no. Either they're in or they're out. So actually, in the next week, I'll start booking again. I'll start finding intriguing people, like Powerline for tonight that was going to be on tonight. That again, to reiterate, that is on me, not on them. I had to delay the show an hour because of work, and they had made their time for me, and I couldn't honor that time. So that's on me. Hopefully, we'll see them again. But they're a couple. They're a partner. I don't know if husband and wife, but they're male female couple. Maybe it's only a business partnership. I'm not sure. No, it was his wife. Phillip is Samantha's Phillip's wife. Anyway, they've been around at least as long as Morph Market, at least as long as 2017. They were founding members on Morph Market. That's a long time in our hobby, in our industry, and it's certainly been through a number of ups and downs. So I was really excited to learn about that. And then they were speaking my language when we were chatting on Instagram. And he says, you know, I'd love to talk about how you can start small. You don't have to dive in head over heels, and you can actually make your money as you grow. And I was like, oh my God, that's me. That's what I believe. That's what I'm chasing. So we were going to dive into that. So I was excited about collaborating on that, but I like to find people that have some sort of intrigue to me. So I don't know specifically. I've got a little list of people I'm going to reach out to, and we'll figure that out. But yeah, I'll be doing some booking coming up soon. Let me see here. Let me catch up on some comments. I've got quite a few new ones. Thank you for the topic, Stephen and Courtney there. Where, Beast Morph says building up my Morph market's the biggest thing that has helped me. Hey, how many of you all, how many followers on Morph Market? Yeah, does that? I mean, I know it's got to make a difference. Just for full transparency, I think I'm at like 125 or something like that. Where do you find do you get value? Like, I should ask people, do you follow me on Morph Market as a buyer, or have you bought from me if you are a follower? Or I don't know. I haven't correlated Morph Market followers with sales. I'm interested in that. That'd be interesting for me to hear. Yeah, I don't know. There's always multiple threads of conversations going on in the chat. I want to see Candy or Lavender Monsoon. Yeah, I would. Hello, I'd like to see that as well. I love the community. There's people talking about meeting each other in California in here. People tied into what I'm yapping on about and giving me topics, and then others just reaching out and connecting with each other. Yeah, Roxanne, I saw that note earlier that you have 6 of Powerline snakes. Like I say, they were great people, great to work with. This mishap is on me tonight, not on them. I hope to have them back on again soon. Let's see what else is going on in the chat. Looks like I'm confused. There's a lot of Pico Pythons going on. There's a Lindsay and a Jamie. And Jamie wants to chat with Lindsay. Hopefully it's a healthy chat. Sorry if I'm touching any nerves there. Don't mean to. Yeah, Beast Morph says 165 followers. Okay, so not that far off on the Morph Market followers. Let's see. Charlie Reagan Renee says, do MM get updates when you post? I'm guessing that question is, do Morph Market followers get updates when you post? I would assume so, but I don't know that. I don't know that benefit either. I'm curious about that. Beast, if you got any insight into that. Let's see. Straight Blast. What would you think is a better approach? Pushing heavy into double or triple recessive project, or going all in on making super high-end versions of a single recessive? Look, I'm one man. I don't know. And I'll give a couple different examples. In general, I think the horse has left the barn on double and triples. And I think there's going to be some forgotten genes and some forgotten beauties that people pop up and go, oh yeah, while you were off spending years chasing a double and a triple, look what I came up with on this single recessive. I think you got to at least have a focus on starting your double and triple plan if you're going to be in for a long time. And Jim, I know we've talked a lot. I know you certainly have a long-term plan. That's my 2 cents. Other people will probably chime in on that too. That's a hot topic these days. I do like that. I recently, I say recently, the past 3 months, came across super gravels, super codom, incredible potential, incredible looking animal with no recessive, and really just a powerful combo by itself. Visually looks amazing, bright, vivid colors. So when I talk about, forgotten projects that'll come back around in a cyclical way, I start asking myself, well, what would a super gravel look like in Ultramel or in Lavender or in DG? And I don't see them out there. They're not out there. So I'm like, oh my gosh, well, I'm here working on doubles and triples. I have this great foundation, and I have a female super gravel Enchi. Now I've got it listed for sale because I've got another high-end animal, and I'll sell one and I'll keep one. But I'm kind of itching towards like, you know what? That one might just write a little HB on that card as in holdback. I'm real close on that. So anyhow, that's my thoughts on that. Thanks for the question there. What else we got going on? Yeah, Beast Morph says build up your store with great customer service, contributing to high positive reviews. I think reviews are everything. I'm kind of a review snob, honestly. I hate to say it. If somebody, and it's going to happen at some point, somebody's going to be disgruntled over something out of my control. And I'll get a negative review. It happens in restaurants. In restaurants, it's like a pastime, but it happens. But I think you're right, man. A sterling, not the gene, a primo, pristine set of reviews is just gold in any industry, but certainly on Morph Market in our world. Yeah, Matt Summers says straight super gravel and super asphalt look awesome. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Roxanne says it makes things hard to identify with all those genes. It does, but not from a recessive standpoint. They're either het, non-visual, or they're visual. Sometimes hypos are difficult for me to identify. I've got a little color blindness, so I have a little trouble with the hypos, although I love them. They're fantastic. But codoms, you can get so muddled where you got to list things, this is what I believe, this is what I think. I think the most codoms I have in one snake is, I think maybe 4 at the most, to be honest with you. So yeah, I get it. I don't want to go too crazy on codoms. I really want to be selective on the codoms and purposeful with them, and use the recessives and double recessives as sort of the platform that gets perfected with codoms is kind of how I look at it. Leviathan Snakes is awesome question. Straight that was straight blast. I get the names. Well, straight blast pythons. In a similar vein, what do you think everyone who is working to make their double and triple recessives will want to buy once they hit it? That ties into where that cyclical part is. Okay, we got the double. We worked forever for the double. Now what do we put on top of it? So I think the strategy is to build your codoms into your hets along the way. That's something that Kai and I talked about, Lucas Landon Royals, Kai, on the episode. He said, when you can, buy your recessives plus 1 gene. So therefore, you can always be improving what recessive you're producing. And even if you're making hets, you can make wider ranging hets with the codoms in them. Crypticalis, I'm probably mispronouncing it. Pythons, welcome to the show. I don't recognize your name. I'm glad to have you on. I've been taking animals off the market into holdbacks in the last couple of months, just realizing I'd rather make the space than try to sell them in the market. I'm lost. I was with you until you said you'd rather make the space. If you're keeping them, you're not freeing up the space, right? Or you're freeing up the space in the hatchling rack before you move it over. But your point is well taken. Look, if you can weather the storm and you could survive, you'll make more money on keeping almost any snake than you will on selling it, particularly females. Males, it's a little harder of a pitch to make, and maybe a flat out false statement. But females, in theory, even a normal, you're going to make more normals with it. So if you're having a tough time selling them now, you sell them in the future. I mean, you could in theory, if you had 60 or 80 normals, you could have a pretty good wholesale business. It's a lot of work. I wouldn't do it, but you could. So I get your main point. I didn't mean to pick apart, and take one little thing that I didn't understand out of there. I mean that I need more enclosure space. There's always that question of how much work does it take to sell an animal? And if it's right now higher than it would normally be, and the amount of work it takes to sell it, is it worth just keeping and making more animals so that when it's easier to sell? The problem is your time that you have to invest, your time in keeping those animals, and then the overhead with the rats. And everybody's different. I buy my rats. Other people think I'm nuts for not breeding rats. I've talked about it ad nauseum. I'm not going to breed rats. But those are all things to consider. I had to figure out how to overcome that overhead cost of my rats for sure. Beast Morphs, I think that's true. He says upgrading to higher service level like premium or pro membership, being a US ARC member shows up on Morph Market as well. These are all things that help newer people be comfortable buying. Look, at the end of the day, I've always said to club operators, why would somebody join your club and not every golf clubs are a dime a dozen, especially in Florida. My gosh, they're everywhere. Just like ball python breeders. the end of the day, how can you differentiate yourself? Yeah, raise that membership, especially if you have the cash flow to do it. You know, flex that US ARC, put the extra time into the customer service. I absolutely agree, completely agree. What's up, Jaffe? I hope that you're doing well tonight. Thanks for joining the show. If you all came, there's 46 of you. Thank you. If y'all came looking for Powerline, my apologies. I worked late today, and it was just out of my control. I couldn't abandon that team there in the middle of the rush that we had. I was courteous to call and give up. I didn't just ghost them. I didn't just stand up Powerline. But ultimately, at the end of the phone call, we agreed that tonight just wasn't going to work later for them. And that's okay, because I asked them to be ready at a particular time, and I couldn't honor that. So I hope to do business with them again, but absolutely no issues, no hard feelings with Powerline. But that's why I'm running solo and why they're not here for anybody who joined looking for Powerline reptiles. Let's see what else is going on in the chat. What's up, Heads and Tails? Thanks for joining. Yeah, I'm caught up on the comments. See who else is in here. Just say hello, even if you don't have a topic to raise. I'd love to see who's there. Look, it was a little housekeeping. Let's do the likes and the subscribes, all that kind of stuff. If you're not, I do the show every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. This is the second time in nearly 2 years that I've ever not done it at 8 p.m. I started it at 9 p.m. and I'm proud to say I didn't miss the show tonight. I wanted to at one point. I was like, I'm done with today. I'm done. But it's really kind of been therapeutic for me to come do the show. So I'm very happy with that. I've got to say huge thanks to REDLINE shipping. Normally I have a nice little banner across the screen. I didn't get a chance to reformat things tonight for the solo show. So sorry to my sponsors, but REDLINE shipping is fantastic. Use the promo code PROPER5 to get an extra $5 off your next shipping label. Also, if you come to see me at a show, I'll give you some shipping coupons that Robin sent to me. And those are pretty stout discounts as well. So, what a great company. They're doing great things. And I'm starting, I got to tell you guys, you all did this. You're starting to see other podcasters with promo codes pop up from REDLINE. I take pride in it, and I know it's true because Robin told me it is. I was the test dummy for that program. Apparently, and I didn't really recall this, but Robin told me I was so tenacious in knocking on the door, figuratively speaking, at REDLINE every couple weeks. Somebody finally checked out my channel and was like, this guy's pretty good. He's early on. He's not, he doesn't have 30,000 followers anywhere. He's pretty good. And REDLINE said, how can we get this guy on board and really not have any risk? And I'll just be forthright. The deal that they said was you're going to get X amount discount on whatever you ship. That's our payment to you. And we're going to see how you do. You're going to get a unique promo code. It's proper5. And it was so good. Robin was like, man, this thing took fire. He's like, we did that for a lot of people. He's like, you're at the top. You've kicked everybody else on, kicked their butts on it. And I'm like, well, those are my audience. That's my community. Those are my people, because I'm not the one redeeming. I don't get to redeem proper5. I tell you that. So thank you for that. I'm starting to see it out there. And I honestly, to me, that says the REDLINE's growth is good. And they are staying aggressive, trying to take over the market, kind of commandeer the market. Good for them. That's capitalism. That's how it works. And Robin's been really great and supportive to work with. He spent time with me. But I've seen some good friends, guests that have been on this show. What do I see? Boom, they got their own promo code. You're going to have to go find them. I'm not going to advertise for them for their promo code. Use mine, Proper5. If you've already used it, I am working on some leverage on how I can get Robin to re-up. If I get my Instagram followers up to, I'm just about to pass 4,000. I think when I get to the 6,000 mark, which I've set a goal for myself to be there by May, I'm looking down here at my goals. May 24th is my goal on that. Then I'm going to go knocking on my sponsors' doors and going, wait a minute, you sponsored me when I had less than 2,000. I now have 6,000. I think it's time. We either need a new promo code or you got to hit reset on the other one. Let's bring some value to these folks again, you know? So that's what I'm working on. That's the long-term vision on that. Let me see. Okay. So a bunch new comments here. Elite Exotics, great live. Hey, thank you. I'm not in my comfort zone on a solo one. So thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Man, Nucleus Royal Morphs. That's high cotton compliments right there. Adam's a natural podcast host, one of my favorites. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Yeah, you know, this is a great point. You should think about uploading to a podcast platform, Adam. It would bring up your popularity level. I think you're exactly right, and I think I've missed the opportunity on that. I will tell you, I picked this apart in my head. I think it's generally good. I ask myself, if something takes time to do, what's the return on that investment going to be? So right now, and let me just be like really brutally, painfully honest tonight. And you guys know that I am here every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. I don't take missing this show or delaying this show very lightly. I had to ask myself, was it worth risking an billable hourly client at their weakest moment, at their toughest time? Was I going to abandon them? Or was I just going to have to pick up the phone and explain the situation to Powerline and say, look, guys, I screwed it up. I overextended myself. And then risk you all with the audience saying, man, this guy's not dependable. Is he on at 8? Is he on at 9? We come here at 8 o'clock. So I had to weigh those risks, and I had to weigh the value and the benefit. And the value is right now, consulting pays my bills. Billable hours versus potential future sales. It was a hard trade-off. I value those future potential sales and building my brand and building my reputation very, very much. Tonight, I traded a little bit of that for some money. What that has to do with podcast platforms is, I think mistakenly, in retrospect, I said, man, that feels like a lot of work I got to get the audio file, and then I'm going to want to edit it. And what if I think it was a bad show? Then I don't want to put it up I don't want to repeat it. It's already there on YouTube. So I started talking myself out of all of these things, but I really think it's a one-time setup. And I think it's a one-time click, boom, download audio, boom, upload audio, off it goes. So yeah, I'm with you. I had a conversation with Jeremy Warfel the other day, and I said, hey, you know, this shorts thing on YouTube is really, really, really driving subscribers. And he said, oh, cool, I might have to try one. I said, well, I'm doing like 3 a day. And he was like, I might do 3 a month, man. I don't have time for that. And I'm like, you do? You can find it. No, he doesn't. He's got a newborn kid. In my mind, I was like, I don't have time for these podcast uploads. I never thought I would have had time to put 3 reels or shorts on YouTube a day, a reel or 2, and a picture every day on Instagram, but I do. So I just need to make time for it. You're exactly right. Thanks for the support. Good insight on that. Mark said, I tried to get Lane Labs to sponsor me and got crickets. I will not name names. I could tell you I got crickets many. I know it's easy to assume because we only see the parts that we want to see, and that's marketing, right? The volume of sponsors that said no or didn't respond at all is huge. Like I say, I won't name names. I spent a long time working on that. I honed my, okay, why did I get a no? Okay, that one didn't work. Okay, let me try something different. Mark, if you want to, maybe you're not interested. If you are interested, I'll share with you the proposal that I ended up sending to the sponsors that I did click with. I'll share that with you. But anyway, yeah, I get it, man. The number of no's far outweighs the number of yeses for sure. Oh, cool. This is kind of a cool, one of these cool positive things we can all do as a community. If you know Randy at Pope County Pythons or just want to help me out, go congratulate my friend on his first clutch dropping today. That's killer. You can't say, we all just need to just pop up. Like, how hard is it on? Actually, I'm going to do it right now. Here we go. Ready, Charlie? Randy's going to be like, what? I don't know, Randy. He's going to be like, what? How does Adam know this? I'm going to do it right now, real time. This is what happens on solo shows. They just try new stuff out. I am Pope County Pythons chat. Congrats on your clutch! Exclamation point. Send. Boom. Done. There you go. Flood the guy's inbox. Pope County Pythons. That would make me feel good after the mental and soul crushing day that I had at work today. Oh, it's terrible, man. Roxanne says, thanks for all the videos and live streams you do. It really helps a noob get started and learn the ropes. I hope that's me or whoever it is doing that. But yeah, that's always been kind of my goal. Like, oh, Pope Randy says, hey, thanks, buddy. I don't know. He's probably like, I don't know how he knows. Anyway, yeah, go flood his box right now. Thank you very much, Roxanne. Very, very kind. Yeah, Matt Summers, better off red. That's the REDLINE shipping. Bam. I should have a sticker for Cold Blooded Cafe too. Cold Blooded has been fantastic to me. They are they're my frozen rodent, both supplier and sponsor. I'm proud to work with them. I suggest you try them out. For a guy like me who does not breed rats, does not want to breed rats, frozen rodents are where it's at. Now I sound like I'm trying to rap. I didn't mean to. I do believe in Cold Blooded Cafe, and I'm so lucky that I was able to be a customer of theirs and a believer in theirs long before I was doing business with them. And what was great when I was making my pitch, I could share this. I think Desiree was probably pretty annoyed or tired of people pitching to her. And she says, what's your name? I said, Adam Shirah, Shirah. And it was like a silence for a minute. She goes, pardon the language, if you got your kids around or whatever, I don't mean anything by it, but it's a great part of the story. She goes, holy shit, you buy a lot of rats from me. I said, I know, I'm your guy. I'm already a big fan. I can preach the good word. And shortly after that, we came to an arrangement. So it's pretty cool. I really like that story. It's one of my favorite business stories right now. Let me see. Yeah, Warfel says REDLINE comes in a few bucks cheaper than Ship Your Reptiles, which is who I've used. Look, I had good experiences with Ship Your Reptiles. Aside from Ship Your Reptiles, because I'm not in the business of talking down on other people, REDLINE's customer interface is fantastic. I find some of the other companies a bit clunky, coupled with the prices are lower. At the end of the day, even if it's not a better experience, sometimes lower price and the same dependability, I'm just going to take the lower price. Like we're creatures of habit and money, you know, like I'm going to take the lower price. But REDLINE definitely delivers a better customer experience and a better experience on their interface. And then I don't want to turn this whole show into a REDLINE love fest. Their customer service has been fantastic in some really, really bad situations that I've had to deal with. I had a DOA, dead on arrival animal, and it was from the ice storm in Memphis that nobody saw coming. And REDLINE was fantastic about that all through the whole process. And then after the fact, taking care of the shipper that sent it to me. I mean, everybody. We didn't end up well. We had a dead animal in the process, which is heartbreaking. Outside of that, everybody ended up very, very well covered because of the efforts of REDLINE. So even in the worst of circumstances, they do a great job. And I gotta say, for the record, I never once said in my communications with them, hey, I'm Adam and I'm one of your sponsors. Never once. Their customer service team had no idea. I went through the customer service team. I did not call Robin. I didn't go to the top. I went right through the channels I'm supposed to. And I never once played the I'm somebody card. And they took amazing care of me. Let's see. I made the right call. I don't know what call I made, but I'm glad I made the. Oh, on which to choose tonight. Yeah, I mean it's hard. I needed to. I don't feel good about it though. You know, what am I at? 52-48 to where I landed. I'm not, not that happy. So yeah, 41 of us still here. I don't take that for granted whatsoever. Incline says shorts get subs. Yeah, shorts do get subs, man. And here's the thing, subs for the sake of subs, no big deal. If you feel good, you get a challenge out of it, great, go get your subs. They do help with leverage with things like, sponsorships and branding and that kind of thing. So there is a little bit of clout that comes with it. Yeah, Scales and Tails said, I missed the beginning when it was 45 minutes past. Yeah, I know. I know. I'm sorry. And I'm disappointed in myself. I'm not disappointed at you, Scales and Tails. That's not directed at you. Let me see. Yeah, Jeremy, do some shorts, man. I feel bad showing the people the same few snakes over and over with the shorts. You know what? I've found it's a different audience. The people that are the 40 of y'all that are here watching my long format, probably, I don't know. I wouldn't say never. I bet you're not going to watch my shorts though. Hopefully it's not flooding your homepage and being a pain to you, or you're getting 3 bell notifications at 7:30 Eastern time, so 4:30 in the morning on the West Coast. I could understand that would be a pain. But I think they're different audiences. I truly think it reaches different audiences, Jeremy. And by the way, I've had success with very nearly the very same short that I just put different music to, or literally the very same original filming that I just edited differently and put the stops in at different places or slapped a little effect on a different thing. Slap it back up there, man. I don't think in general that I just produce for quantity, but I'm always trying different things. That one didn't work, but I thought it's a really interesting snake. Well, let me re-edit it. Let me put different music. Let me try this. Let me try the loud dramatic movie trailer theme or the background lo-fi hip-hop jazz background beats. I haven't made heads or tails of it yet, but I'm working at it. It's more annoying to find audio on YouTube than it is on Instagram. Yes, Instagram is very smooth and quick to produce. I can knock out an Instagram reel, and I mean, literally filming time and editing, posting it under 10 minutes. And really, honestly, sometimes like 3 or 4 minutes. YouTube is more. I agree. They're also more clunky on the title, description, hashtags. I have not maximized that. I admit it. I just cram it all into the title. I just do the title and then I slap hashtags into the title. But the actual description block, I leave blank on YouTube. I just don't have time for all of that. Instagram is better with the hashtags and ats that you can do right in the all in the same field. YouTube limits you to 100 characters. Instagram doesn't seem to have a limit, man. You can put a bunch of stuff. You can put a lot of data in the Instagram field. Oh, John, I haven't seen this stat. John says, I'm not counting on shorts for monetization, only subs. Need 10 million in 90 days to get monetized. I got to disagree with that a little bit. Now, I'm not getting rich. Hang on. I'm going to pull it up. Just stick with me because I do make money on shorts, but let's all laugh together. I'm going to share I'll share my actual stats page right here. That's new stuff. There's good content, right? Like how I agree with myself and congratulate myself like in the moment. Well, that's good, right? I'm going there right now. Bear with me, guys. I got some subscribers today. I hadn't looked at that lately. All right, here you go. I'm going to walk you through my actual analytics right here. Share screen and share a Chrome tab. Channel analytics. There we go. All right, guys, I don't know if you could see my mouse or not. I don't think you can see my mouse, which I feel bad about. Hey, there's my banner. There's your Proper 5. Yeah, little cold-blooded logos. All right, cool. So I don't know if you could see my mouse or not. Hopefully you can. But here you go. This is with shorts. This is all views, 59,500. Watch time, just under 2,000. 223 subscribers lately since I started doing shorts. And look, that's 145 more than usual. That's a lot. I've been on YouTube over 2 years now, since November of 2020. So coming up on 2.5 years, I just upped my subscriber count 10% in the last 28 days. So that's pretty cool. You'll see my estimated revenue is actually fallen off a little bit, and I'm sorry that those windows keep popping up. Let me show you this though. To John, to your point, I think you can earn money sooner once you get monetized in general. 2,000 subscribers, 1,000 total watch hours, I think is the metric. No, 4,000 watch hours, right? 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours, I think. Correct me in the comments, folks, if I've got that wrong. Estimated revenue. Now, look, you can break it down here. Look right. Look, I don't know. Again, I don't know if you could see my mouse or not. On content performance, we're going to click on shorts. Views, 53,600 views. $1.57. There you go. So you don't have to get into the millions to make, to make any, amountable money. Yeah. But $1.57 is what I've earned on shorts. Similarly with videos, however, only 3,000 video views and I've made $17. That's fallen off some in the last 28 days. Y'all have probably noticed my YouTube production as I've produced bigger and longer videos that take more time and more editing, more mapping out and planning. But I've really slowed down on my production. So here we go. I'm going to stop sharing. But yeah, John, you can get monetized sooner. I think as you get monetized as a channel, you will automatically have the opportunity with the shorts. I think. I don't know that for a fact, but I think so. Anyway. Yeah, Warfels just said shorts don't make much money at all. Honestly, man, it's pennies per thousand. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, exactly, Brandon. I don't do YouTube for that money. I do it for reaching people and then ideally converting customers. I keep all these different notes that I refer to often. One of the rules that I ask myself when I'm producing content, will it generate a lead, a sales lead? Will it nurture a sales lead? So maybe one was generated and now we're nurturing it, or maybe we're nurturing a future lead, or is it going to convert a lead? So tonight is really not about converting any leads. It was a little bit when I talked about the Instagram list of animals that I send, but really that's lead generation. But yeah, that lead generation and lead nurture are the big reasons that I participate so much on YouTube and the social media that I do. Totally agreed, Brandon. Guys, if you got any more big topics, let me know. I've been at this 90 minutes solo and I'm tired. And this is a true story. I have not eaten yet today. I came into this show without eating. I am starving and I'm tired. And I mostly am going to go be alone and eat for a little bit. Let's see here. Austin Teal says, I've been trying to figure out my shipping game. Check with Redline, man. If you have any questions, I'm happy to talk with you too. You can message me. It's hard. It's a big overhead. It's a competitive market. Look, Antoine just said he's doing free shipping for the year. and I know, I don't believe he's getting sponsored for free shipping from Redline. He might be. He might have such a pull that Redline goes, hey, we'll just cover your shipping. I don't know. What I imagine is he's getting a big enough discount to where his average shipping, and he's not centrally located. No, he's not central at all. He's in Arizona or he's in California. He's in California. I apologize. Maybe his market is centered on the West Coast, though, where, like, if I had only shipped to the East Coast, most of my shipping labels would cost me $25. And I pass all that savings on to my customers. I just bill people the actual shipping costs. He might say, you know what, I'm just going to eat the 20 and take the advertising benefit of doing everything free shipping and play the odds that he'll sell more locally or regionally kind of thing. Anyway, it was a hurdle that I felt like shipping. I wanted to lower my overhead on, and rodents were the two big things I wanted to lower my overhead on. Yeah, I've never gotten a penny from Instagram. Oh man, speaking of Instagram, I sent Charlie a Reagan Renee a photo of this the other day. I'm not going to bother sharing it on the screen, but I do want to see what it's up to. So I had a reel. What was that, Charlie? 2 days ago? It was 2 mornings ago. That would have been Sunday morning. Maybe it was yesterday morning. Whatever it was at 345,000 views. I'm not making that up. One reel on Instagram. My other highest ever was at 50 or 60, which I was ecstatic about. 345,000. As of right here, right now, maybe I've lost track of time. So maybe 36 hours, maybe 48 hours. Yeah, it's still getting likes, and it is currently at 454,000 views. Not a penny. Mark, I'm not in their bonus deal. I've not gotten paid from Instagram. I got to figure out how to get into their bonus land. 500,000 views. Yeah, look at that. Those are the pictures I need to be sending to my sponsors and going, here's my reach. My reach this month is 600,000. It's some stupid, man. It's crazy. All right. Elite Exotic says, I'm going to make a short after this. Do it. Yeah. Now, I'll tell you one of the hacks. The day I started doing my shorts, I downloaded 20 reels from Instagram, re-uploaded them. I just picked a new music and I was concerned that the logo from Instagram was going to mess with YouTube's algorithm. They didn't care. I got something like 30 subscribers that day, which is a lot of subscribers on YouTube. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to download all my reels and repost them on YouTube. And I started doing that, but then I started remixing them. I started playing with music, all the little things you start to do to try and improve. But yeah, go for it. I can't wait for the day, Brandon, somebody describes you as over energetic. That made me chuckle thinking about that. Mark says he's going to do a short every day then. Okay. My YouTube revenue almost paid for 1 week's worth of snake feeding. Yeah, so you saw mine in the past month was only at $60. However, and this did just happen today. I got my payment. I got my most recent payment for the previous month. That was $160. Now, $160 by itself is nothing. Not nothing. It's still cool. But $160 there, 2 snakes a day there, lower overhead on rodents, lower overhead on shipping. It's starting to add up, man. This is very, very viable. I'm not far from this being truly my focus. I mean, it's already my focus, but you know what I mean? The focus. each short. Yeah, Jeremy says he's averaging 5 subs or more per short. I mean, it's good, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I do well on yeah, well, Brandon, you got to realize most of those views were from, you know, not viral, but quick snippet shorts just on a feed. You know, I think my goal, or not my goal, my trend for a long time was that I wanted to get 8,000 views a month on a traditional and live, like what I'm doing now. 8,000 views and 2,000 watch hours per month was a really, really strong performing plateau for me that I hit. And if you saw, my watch hours are only at like 1.8 thousand this past month. So I've actually fallen off a little bit. I need to get back up there to that 2,000 watch hour mark. And then that would have been on traditional videos, and these lives generating about 8,000 per month was a good, before I was focusing on the shorts as much as I am. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't even know what that's in reference to. I'm not even going to touch that one. Hang on here. Yeah, back to the Antoine thing. I think he's saying he's going to include shipping in all sales, which, I mean, lots of people do currently. Yeah, I mean, it's all in marketing, right? Free shipping. I'll mark the animal up $30 to call it free shipping. Oh, great. That absolutely. It's all in again, finding those tweaks that work. If that's what I'm going to have to do to compete, okay, I'm going to raise my prices a little bit and then just say it's free shipping if it feels better, and that gives me a competitive advantage. So the marketing is great. Antoine announced that wearing a REDLINE sweatshirt, and it made it sound like he, you know, it builds in clout though. The way that he marketed it was like, because I'm me, I get to do this for you. And that makes you feel more special versus just going, I mean, if you're already selling a average of $800-900 an animal pricing, who cares about raising it 3%? You're going to pay that in PayPal fees. If you raise the price $30, it's way different if you're selling $100 or $200 animals, and then you got to raise the price $30, $40, $50 because you don't have the discount or the leverage that the agreement with REDLINE produces. So hard to say on that. Definitely a marketing angle, and Antoine's a great marketer. He's figured out angles that I'm not good at capturing. So for sure on that. Let's see. Yeah, you know, Elite Exotics, I shouldn't throw these numbers around. There are there's so many shipping coupon codes. We're in the midst of a shipping war right now, which really benefits the customer. So in one way, I feel bad being so transparent about what my arrangement is. On the other hand, you know, from Fresno to LA, I don't know how FedEx works on the West Coast. I could tell you from I could ship from Jacksonville, Florida to South Carolina overnight, $25 range. To Pennsylvania, to say to Jeremy, is probably going to be $35 or $40. Then once I go west, and for some reason the central, the northern Midwest, man, right now Michigan is still costing me about $60 to ship to. I just quoted that today and actually had to work with the buyer on the total cost. You know, what it ended up coming down to with the buyer was, hey, look, here's what I'm willing to spend on this whole shebang. How do we make that work? Well, okay, I'm gonna lower the price. I'll call it to handle the shipping, or say I'm gonna, you know, it's at the end of the day, it was that magic final numbers where we made everything work. So, well, look, guys, I've caught up on the comments. Thank you all so much for being here. I actually really enjoyed hanging out, trying to do this kind of comment off the cuff thing. Really didn't use any notes tonight because I didn't have many, and I thought I would make some along the way. I want to say thank you all one last time. I know I've probably taken this ad nauseum now. Huge thanks to Powerline. Huge apologies to Powerline Reptiles. They were great throughout this whole process of booking, being ready. It was no offense taken. Certainly not them dropping the ball. They're busy. They had stuff to do. They set aside the time that I asked them to. I didn't deliver. I didn't come through. So hopefully we'll see them again. I would love to. The door is always open. Samantha and Phillip, I hope that maybe you've seen this or you're going to watch this. And I'd love to have you on. My apologies, but all indications are that they are fantastic people to work with, and definitely check them out. They were going to be fantastic guests tonight. I know that they were, just from the behind the scenes chatter that we had. So I want to say thanks to everybody. Next week, KMB, I think it's KMB. KMB Pythons, KMB Reptiles, KMB Morphs. I got to do my homework. I'm going to do some right now in real time. And I will tell you that is KMB Reptiles. That's Matt Burton. And Matt is actually about to either start or get a bunch of content up on his YouTube page as well. So KMB Reptiles next week, 8 p.m. Tuesday. It will not be Fat Tuesday. I will not be working that Tuesday, and on site for any client. I'll be right here. I'll be here for you. If y'all are in Punta Gorda this Sunday, come out and see me live. Have a beverage with me. I will be enjoying myself, I promise you. Following weekend, March 4th and 5th, I'll be in Lakeland Vending at the Fire Expo. Thank you all so much. I will see you next time. I don't have the video ready to play. I will. I say that. Here we go. I screwed up the intro because I was so far behind earlier. I'll play it now. Cheers, everybody. See you soon. Get in touch with me anytime you want to chat. Good night.